Hi, and welcome to the Saved, Healed, and Made Whole podcast, where holistic health really can be simple, affordable, and attainable for you and your family. I am your host, Cayla J. Esteban. I am a biblical naturopathic doctor at SOZO Holistic Healing, where I work with natural-minded moms to find healing in mind, body, and spirit. So go grab your favorite cup of herbal tea, take a deep, relaxing breath, and we'll get started. All right, so I am happy to introduce Cherillyn to our podcast today. Welcome, Cherillyn.
Thank you.
And oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, just happy to be here.
Okay, so Cherillyn is an LA native, a happily married mom of two that are in diapers still, and owner of Be Balanced Natural Weight Loss Centers in Woodland Hills, California. Be Balanced, if you're not familiar with it, is a well-established franchise that includes lifestyle coaching with a real whole foods diet and natural supplementation to balance key hormones in people, especially women, which helps improve weight, sleep, mood swings, night sweats, blood pressure, and other numerous benefits. Within 2 months of having gone through the Be Balanced program herself, Cherillyn lost 28 pounds and improved her sleep, mood, and skin, and got pregnant with her second child. Wow, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thanks.
So could you tell me, how did you get started with Be Balanced and find out about it?
Yeah, I was nursing my first child. I was having so many hormonal issues, but also working with my business coach, just seeing what opportunities are out there. And when I came across this, I thought, wow, that's interesting, but it's weight loss. I'm not looking to open another Jenny Craig, or I just figured it'd be another Weight Watchers.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I learned more about it, wow, they really work on naturally balancing out hormones, which I thought was impressive. And then I thought, oh, well, I'm the only one who needs hormone balancing. I'm the only one in the world with imbalanced hormones. So, so I read up on it, but I didn't think that there would be a demand. And then in that 1 week, I remember hearing from two cousins, one with a history of breast cancer, the other one, both of them talking about the difficulties in menopause. And my friend, same week, looking for a natural way to balance out her hormones. She's in her mid-30s. And then I learned about my 20-year-old niece with painful periods. And my husband heard a podcast about endometriosis and the lack of care in the medical field. So I had all these signs of hormones with various ages, various sexes. So I'm like, all right, this must be a sign from the universe to look into this. So yeah, I looked into it, looked into the science, used myself as an experiment, and I couldn't believe the results.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love I think, it's important to kind of test things out for yourself first, to really be able to vouch for it. And so that's really cool that so you were actually looking for a business to get involved in and versus looking for an actual weight loss program for yourself, right?
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Nice.
Mhm.
What made you want to look into, not as specifically Be Balanced, because you said you were kind of looking for something to get involved in? Like, what made you want to have your own business and um, do all the things?
I had my I had my son, so it changed me as a mom. I knew I wanted some flexibility. I wanted to be around him more. After spending 18 years in the medical field, I wanted something that had maybe less structure and yeah, to follow something that was passion, that included my passions and was mission driven.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so
Wait,
yeah.
so what were you doing in the medical field before?
I won't talk about the title, but I trained a lot of physicians. I advised on operational optimization. I reported to CEOs. There was some legal and risk stuff there, but a big part of it was looking for financial optimization. So I would work with physicians. I would train them and show them how to what procedures they could bill for, and um, in a way, how to make the most money for what they're doing. Just
Mhm,
working between the lines, stuff that they don't get in medical school.
mhm,
So from that career, I really learned how healthcare, modern healthcare in the US is a business. I've
mhm.
seen backstage what drives it from big pharma and governmental standards. So
That's
yeah.
cool. So you like already had a history in health and already had a history in kind of like running things as a business owner too. So that's really, really cool. I love like the mompreneur kind of movement that's coming out more, like moms that just because of the economy, like we can't really be in the 50s where we all just like stay home with our kids. But moms like finding a way to make it work where like they're able to be more present and flexible with their kids, but also able to pursue their passions and earn a little more of an income. So I think that's really awesome that that's what you're doing. I believe that you have a team working with you too. Did you want to introduce them just a little bit or just name their names and everything?
Yeah, I have two awesome coaches. They're really big nerds. One is Desiree Hershey. Her background is in gut health. She's really strong with that. Um, and she came on board also sharing a similar passion in finding alternative solutions to overall health. This comes from her integrative nutrition background and her passion for gut health, and also her personal experience being a woman and
Mhm.
dealing with certain issues. Sandra Solomon is our older coach who has gone through menopause and felt the struggles of that journey. She also worked for a competing weight loss center. So when she heard about the science and the mission behind like what we do, she really became intrigued and also is a passionate coach here for sure. Uh,
Mhm.
we could get a job anywhere, but the women here have a personal connection with what we do, and it really helps them connect with our clients because we get it.
Right.
From my background in the medical field, I've learned that, again, certain things drive the financial cycle of the medical business. So what I found is that there's a gap in women's health, especially hormones. Um,
Mhm.
I heard a client say women's health in the medical field peaks when we have a baby. You get all the prenatal care and we're here for you. But then once you have the baby, there's only a limited amount of solutions, whether it
Mhm.
be birth control or a synthetic hormone replacement therapy. Often women say, I feel gaslighted, my labs look normal, but I know something is off. And unfortunately, physicians do not get extensive training with women's hormones in medical school. So what I love about Be Balance is that it is highly focused in that area. We do not pretend to know it all or cover the whole gambit, but when it comes to women and our menopausal or PMS and reproductive issues and weight loss, this is our bread and butter.
Awesome. Yeah, I can definitely relate before in the very beginning of kind of my health journey when I was, I think like 20 or something. I went to the doctor because I had really painful periods and she was just like, oh, it's just because you haven't had a baby yet and your cervix isn't big enough or something. And I was like, I could just give you some birth control and you'll be fine until then. And yeah, like gaslit, I think was like a really good word to describe that. And I think there's a lot of women that experience that, and it's not, I'm not hating on doctors, it's not their fault, it's just they're going based off what they've been taught. And the endocrine system is so complicated, like there's so many things that can just upset it. And I think as women too, like our endocrine systems are more delicate than men's are, and it's so easy just to like have one little thing that throws us off, like too high stress or the wrong foods and things like that, that makes it hard to do on your own. Like what you guys do, I think is really amazing.
Yeah, you really hit it on the head. Um, oh, I forgot where I was going. You really struck a nerve. But how you feel is often what clients say when they come with us for their free consultation. They're often hesitant, but then they start to open up about their experiences, and it is similar. My doctor told me this, but I don't know, it almost makes them feel uneasy. And I want to say that there is a time and place for the medical field to step in. I do believe in Western medicine and that having a time and place for it. However, I also believe that when it comes to preventative measures and alternative medicine, I mean, acupuncture, Chinese medicine has been around for thousands of years. So that alone, Ayurveda, there's a great history there that we can't ignore. Let's take into consideration. Often we work with clients and work with their physicians and their protocols and their medications. Um, yes, like we are here to partner with them and to work with your physician and work with your current conditions for sure. We're not going to ignore that. Um, so yeah, that's how I see it. I'm kind of in the middle of the spectrum.
Yeah, I love that the Be Balanced mindset is like not just another weight loss program. I feel like I'm so skeptical about a lot of weight loss programs because there's so many and they all, seem to offer kind of a similar thing of like calorie reduction or like meal specific things. And I love that you guys like, I think you're the professional, so you could tell me, but I think it's so easy to just get fixated on like the number on the scale versus like balance and wellness and hormone. Like, I love that you guys have that target goal versus like, we're going to get to this number on the scale kind of thing. I think that's really great.
Oh, yeah. Our founder, Dawn Cotillo, she started her center in 2008. And she started this journey because she was working with women trying to lose weight and just focusing on diet and exercise. How come I'm not losing weight? I'm doing all the things. And that does a number on you as a woman. I am eating well. How come I'm not dropping the weight? What am I doing wrong? Often that's what I see and hear. And she learned that with women after a certain age, it is way more than diet and exercise. No, your body is different now than when you were 21. So you're going to need something else to lose that weight. It's not you. That's our biggest thing. It's not you. It's what the shift. She wrote a book called The Hormone Shift. And you were absolutely right when you said women's cycles and women's hormones are so different than men. And unfortunately, it does cause not just weight gain, but a lot of other issues when it comes to women beyond reproductive issues that you hear, like PCOS, infertility, and endometriosis, but also our menopausal issues, hot flashes, night sweats. Western societies have normalized that. And PMS, oh, it's normal.
Right. Or here,
However,
let me just give you a medication for it. Yeah.
birth
Yeah.
control, birth control. Um, But no, there are other societies and other practices where they cruise through menopause. It isn't a struggle. Um, yeah, they don't feel like what we feel. So what we do, we fill in that gap. We come in, learn about you. Our clients come in and we learn about them. And then, yeah, we help them through this journey seamlessly because we are trying to disrupt what is normal when it comes to a woman's journey through these health struggles.
Mhm. Yeah, that's awesome. That is definitely a big pet peeve that I have of other weight loss programs where like they don't like I remember when I was getting my certifications and taking my anatomy class and they talked about the liver and how the liver is responsible for processing fat. And it was like this light bulb moment where I'm like, why isn't weight loss like liver detoxification, right? Like if we need a healthy liver in order to process this fat, right? Like livers and hormones and that like your liver's responsible for creating hormones and like your thyroid and stress and nervous system. So it seems like you guys are doing a lot of really good things with your program, like actually targeting those things so women aren't like exactly what you're saying, like just eating salads every day, going, what's wrong with me? Why can't I make myself lose weight? Yeah, that's amazing.
Totally. Our most popular program is our Becoming Balanced program, where clients want to lose at least 10, 15 pounds. And liver detox is one of the top two things that we really work on. You are detoxing, and clients see it with their skin, they see it with their nails. We reset your hypothalamus and support your gut. All of this while also resetting your metabolism. Um, so yeah, it's kind of like a one-stop shop to reset your body because there's such a connection to mind and body and your gut. And this includes like no exercise too. So often clients not only see the weight loss, but an improvement in their mood, in
Mhm.
their, yeah, mental health overall, their gut health, bloating. Over 80% of our clients see see an improvement in their bloating, and sleep is also improved. I mean, there's a plethora. Clients are getting off medication because they no longer need it for blood pressure or thyroid or cholesterol. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's like, I mean, I feel like I keep saying it over and over again, but like hormone health is so important, and like gut health, the things you were talking about, like gut health and the food sensitivities, because I believe you guys cut out certain foods like gluten and stuff like that that can cause bloating and things for people. So I think that's really awesome. So just kind of walk me through like, because you mentioned the one program, but it seems like you have like multiple offerings. Like for somebody that just comes in, what's kind of like the basic steps for how you would process them or assess them or something like that? How does that work?
Yeah, they would book a free consultation, whether it be virtual or in person, and they fill out their client profile, filling out all their symptoms. So we're non-medical, we don't do labs here. Instead, we focus on your symptoms. And if anything, it's a harder test to pass than labs because sometimes your labs can look normal, but you still feel off. In this case, we challenge you to bring in all your symptoms. Um, whether they be reproductive or gut related, and let's work on those. We will work on having you see an improvement within a couple days. So based on their client profile, where it shows their medical history, their medications, then we're able to recommend one of our programs. Our two most popular ones, like I mentioned, is the Becoming Balanced one. That's kind of that's the foundational one. That's the one-stop shop because you're holding in so many of us are don't have the best gut. um, suffering from leaky gut and just the toxins that have accumulated in our body, just sticky in that stored fat. So it's kind of our starting point to just let's get a clean slate and get the weight off, but also test for food sensitivities. Our second most popular program is our gut health. Um, and that is more gut focused, where clients on average lose about 8 pounds of inflammation in their gut alone. And but there are clients who don't want to lose weight. They're already living a healthy lifestyle. They just want to balance out their hormones or find an alternative to the traditional hormone replacement therapy that's being prescribed by physicians. With that, we have our own version that are transdermal creams. We even have our own lab for that in Arizona. So that is probably our third most popular go-to with someone just wanting to just balance out their hormones.
That's awesome. I love how you are able to meet different women where they're at, and even with the staff that you mentioned, like you have somebody that specializes in more mature women, and somebody that kind of specializes more, or maybe can empathize more with like younger women, and you like you have like younger children, so you kind of are across the board of being able to kind of meet each woman where they're at and address each one of their needs as individuals, instead of just like let's funnel you into this cookie cutter kind of program. And I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah, no, we work as a team. There's a lot of collaboration and rigorous training that is required to have this job and to own this business. While they do have their certifications in holistic nutrition and integrative nutrition, that is like a cherry on top. But they did have to go through the Be Balanced training. And let's say I've heard clients say, "Well, what I'm different. I have something that's off." Well, we are supported by corporate. Corporate has a governing board that has medical representation included that can help support us through certain case studies and troubleshoot. Like, oh, this is off. So we also have that backing for
Mhm.
clients.
That's cool. I forgot to, I was going to add, I really like what you said about instead of going off of medical labs, going off more of symptoms, because I think like us as women, well, all of us really in general, but like I think in our modern society, we aren't really taught to tune into our own bodies as much, so when you ask them, like, how do you feel, like, do you have brain fog, do you have fatigue, do you have, like, to be able to pay attention, like, oh, I'm breaking out more today than usual, like those kinds of things, to kind of notice that for yourself. I think that's really awesome that you guys have that perspective, because it's something that people can kind of um, tune into on a daily basis, versus like, I'm just going to do labs twice a year and then just ignore myself for the rest of the time. So I think that's awesome that you guys have that perspective. I wasn't sure if you guys, so I, just to give everybody listening a background of, I met Cherillyn, and I actually really wanted to refer somebody that I know to her program who was looking to lose some weight. And because I was a little bit iffy about lots of different weight programs, I did a lot of like due diligence and kind of vetted the program before I referred it to my friend that I know. And I was really impressed with like the supplements and the herbs and things that you guys use. Like, they're not, I feel like some programs, they're like just really trashy supplements, or really like protein powders that are not healthy or things like that. It seemed like your guys's like the herbal supplements and the teas and stuff, like they were good quality, like they were just natural herbs and things like that. And I think that's really great that you guys use that versus like, some of the other things that are out there.
Yeah, we do have our whole line of supplements that we pull from for certain clients to help them out. But I love that our supplements are high in quality, purity, and potency. They are NSF certified. So unfortunately, there aren't too many regulations around supplementation in the US. So our supplements are different than the ones you would find over the counter at like, I don't know, a Walmart or a Target.
Right.
Sometimes those have extra additives, heavy metals, extra ingredients that you don't really need. And what I also love about ours is that it is mindful of absorbability. It's just what you need for your gut and your body to absorb it without anything extra. Um, and I say that because sometimes for example, our vitamin D drops are just little 4 drops, are equivalent to like the size of a big vitamin D pill that you could find in some stores. So yeah, we just keep that in mind with our supplement.
Yeah, no, I was impressed with like the quality that you guys had. And I think I always admire a company that doesn't just meet regulation, right? Because there's enough of that in America with people just doing what's legal. I love a good company that really values quality, and knows that people are willing to show up for that quality and stuff like that. So I think that's really cool. Do you guys address, because I know a lot of it is, or at least from what I could tell, it's a lot of like dietary changes and then those supplements and things. Do you guys offer any kind of education on kind of like the endocrine disruptors in our environment and stuff like that, like toxins?
Totally. So that's the beauty of that Becoming Balanced program. Well, all of our programs, because they include personalized coaching. It's not, our program is intended for you it's a lifestyle program. So our success rate for keeping the weight off for good is 3 times better than industry average, because what you're taking away is education to keep these habits, know what's happening with your body, know what's causing inflammation, know what's causing the weight gain. And that kind of education is so invaluable because you can carry that on for the rest of your years. Sure, you can gain more weight, but at least now you're knowing what is happening to your body. You know how to troubleshoot, you know how to like go back. Okay. Um, so yeah, there's way more there.
That's awesome. I mean, it seems like you guys really make the effort to make it a life, like a lifestyle shift versus just like a fad program that you just do for 6 months and then go back to your normal life and stuff like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, our objective is to help you, support you, and then graduate you and have you move on. Go live your life. We've had clients who've been on, I won't say another program, but another well-known program for 20 years. And when they did our program within a month, they were like, We've never seen this kind of change in the 20 years we were members of this other program. Similar with another client with her background in bodybuilding. I mean, she also knew her body on a different level, but after trying the other types of programs, she's like, this is really different. This is really made and intended for a woman.
That's awesome. Yeah. It sounds like we've talked about a lot of really, really great things. I'm a big fan of you guys already. Is there anything else that we haven't covered that you might say like kind of sets you apart from different like other weight loss programs or other wellness things?
I think we covered it, but like you mentioned about the endocrine disruptors, what clients can already do from starting now is to, well, one, they could book a free consult with us, but two, they can really learn more about clean living and what's causing stress to their bodies. When we talk about stress, it's way more than emotional, mental. But like this computer screen is causing physiological stress to me, or certain foods are causing gut stress. We could be sitting doing nothing, but our bodies could be experiencing stress beyond our mental state. Also, the lotions out there, the plastics. I know there's a lot of talk about cookware and the extra coating. All of those are endocrine disruptors. Even me, I'm changing my baby products because I discovered that my trusted baby products, I didn't really think much of it when I had my son, but now that I have a girl, I am cleaning house because there are hidden ingredients in there. Keep an eye out for fragrance. Fragrance is not an ingredient, okay?
Like the new secondhand smoking, right? Is what they say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep an eye out for that type of ingredient because that is one of the biggest endocrine disruptors too.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like with baby products and for women too, because I think I heard some statistic that like women have an average of like 20 personal care products like in their bathroom or something like that, like with the each of like the makeup that we put on and the lotions and the soap and the like hair removal stuff. And it's so many different things that it's like we're just bombarded all day long with endocrine disruptors. And this is like another one of my pet peeves with children. I'm glad you mentioned it because like when I was putting together my baby registry, it was like I had to Google search like non-toxic diapers, non-toxic car seats. Not, I was like, I shouldn't have to work this hard to keep toxins away from my children. But it's true, like it takes such an intentional effort and education to know. And I still do it. Like there's still, I was buying seventh generation laundry detergent for my kids. And then I realized, oh, they got bought out by a different company and their ingredients changed. And now I had to find a new one. So it's challenging to be maintaining that. So it's so nice that you guys offer that as an education, so somebody doesn't feel like they have to do it alone and doesn't have to feel stressed out with doing all the research. They can come to you and kind of use you guys as a guide to help them along that way, and a support system too. I don't know if you mentioned it now, but I think you mentioned too before, you guys kind of do some emotional support and coaching and stuff along the way too.
Yeah, we really want you to build a healthy relationship with food. Get rid of that phobia. One of my last jobs was at an eating disorder center, so I really understand, or I really saw the impact of having a negative attitude with food. Really impacts your body and body issues, and it's all interconnected. So that is an area that we're really passionate about overcoming. Um, have your cake and eat it too, and be educated, and do not feel negative about it. And with those baby products that you mentioned, I found a place where it's kind of like the green version of Amazon, where I don't need to look at all the ingredients, but it is guaranteed that there are no parabens, no sulfates, no phthalates, and I can just click and order. So if clients were open to booking a consultation, they'll also get that piece of information as well.
Nice. That's awesome. That's really cool. I feel like I was going to say something about something you mentioned before, and I'm forgetting now, but maybe it'll come back to me. So it sounds like you guys really don't just handle weight loss. Like, I mean, obviously you can't medically like claim to help with anything, but what are kind of the different chronic issues that you see a lot of people not necessarily coming in for to see you, but like getting some kind of resolution from because of this program?
The most common ones, like I mentioned, the sleep, the energy, brain fog, bloating. But also the hot flashes, night sweats for menopausal women, and then PMS.
Okay.
Um,
And I think I saw something like PCOS and endometriosis and things like that too.
yeah, so we do have a long line of supplements that we just pull from, and in some cases, like the PCOS endometriosis, that's where we would do like a focus area on that to help relieve that type of inflammation. Um, so for that, we would probably see what's going on with your gut, probably provide some omegas, and we have two special supplements, BU again and Advanced DIM, that helps with metabolizing excess estrogen, estrogen dominance. That's a common issue that we find with women based on their symptoms. And unfortunately, it does contribute to certain issues like endometriosis and the inflammation there. So yeah, that's an area that we would pull from.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how just balancing your hormones like filters into so many different issues that women have a time with. So you mentioned that you are part of a franchise. So just explain to the listeners like how would that work? Because some people that are listening are local and maybe kind of close to Woodland Hills, but if they're on the other side of the country or something like that, should they just look for a local Be Balanced, or is there some way that you can kind of do something virtually with them or something like that?
Absolutely. We have clients as far as New York, so we can do everything virtually. We ship everything out to you. And we have our weekly Zoom coaching sessions. We'll see you, we'll talk to you, work around, and be available to you. But yeah, I don't know the other centers' teams, but I know my team is very passionate about what we do. So you'll get full on nerd out with my team.
Yeah, I haven't met them, but I've seen their pictures and they do look very they look really great. Yeah, and I can imagine like each even though it's a franchise and things like that, like there's some things that are just like can't be repeatable. Like there's like your own personal flavor and like Sandra's flavor and Desiree's flavor that kind of makes you guys unique compared to maybe what some people might find in a different franchise location. So that's really cool that you guys offer virtual to anybody. And so for anybody that has been listening to our conversation and is feeling really inspired and would love to reach out to you, what's the best thing that they could do?
They can go to bebalancedcenters.com and search for Woodland Hills, book a consultation online. It's totally free, no obligation. And it can be virtual or in person. And then you would meet with one of our coaches and then mention this podcast, and we'd be happy to offer you 20% off any product or service.
That's awesome. Yeah, I will. So I'll be sure to put links in the show notes for all of those things and also the social media things. I believe you mentioned there was something like a free quiz or something that people could take also.
Yeah, so they can go to my own website, Cherillyn.com, and Cherillyn.com/quiz. Go there and you can get an instant insight on your hormone imbalances.
Nice. That's awesome. I love a good it's so nerdy, but I love a good quiz online. So that's fun. So I'll make sure I put that link also in the show notes for everybody listening. So thank you very much, Sherilyn, for joining us. And we are don't have all the details ironed out yet, but for anybody listening, we're looking to do some kind of collaboration event coming up, a live in-person thing in Woodland Hills. So stay tuned for that. And it's been really great to have you, Sherilyn. Thank you for sharing. It's been a really fun conversation, and I love talking about other women and other moms and more women's health. So I appreciate it.
Likewise, Cayla, this is so fun.
And for everybody else too, thank you very much for listening and have a very blessed day.